If you're in the market to buy a home in Ocean City, and maybe this is not your first time trying, I want to walk you through exactly what it takes to construct a winning offer. This is not easy. This is something that you need a professional to assist you with if you want to win. So this is going to be a 3-part series, and in today's video, we're going to cover the first part, which is your mindset. Now, before we dive in, if this is your first time to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe down below and turn on that notification bell if you want to be the first to know about everything happening in the Ocean City, New Jersey real estate market. If you don't already know, my name is Deckard. I am a local realtor, and I take great pride in sharing everything that I know to help my clients and all of you out there to achieve their goals in less time with less stress. With that out of the way, let's dive right in. When it comes to getting into the right mindset, there are 3 parts of this. And the very first part is understanding the market. If you're like most buyers out there, you're probably looking at Zillow, Realtor.com, or any of a number of websites that have active properties on a daily or weekly basis. That may give you a false sense of security in the knowledge that you have about what's actually happening on the ground here in this very specific market. A lot of folks that I worked with and have helped correct their mindset are reading into the national headlines and looking at things through a global lens when everything, specifically real estate, is hyper local. To get a true understanding of what's happening in the market at any given point in time, because things change on a daily basis, you need to be working with a real estate professional who lives and breathes this stuff, and specifically one who lives on the island currently. There are a lot of agents who work in Ocean City but do not actually live here. Without that direct knowledge, I find that there's a lot of confusion or misinformation, specifically when it comes to flooding, which is a huge concern for people buying a primary or secondary home here, or even an investment, because the last thing you want is to think you're in a good part of town where you're plenty elevated, where water's not going to be that big of an issue, to then have an occurrence within your first year or 2 of ownership that you simply didn't expect, or even worse, were told wouldn't happen. I invite all of you watching this video to click the link down below in the description to a Facebook group that I created called Tips for Buying in OCNJ, where I put out content on a weekly basis, multiple times a week, specifically about everything happening in the market and in town, so that you can keep up with everything as it changes and adjust your position as needed as we move forward. Once you've chosen a professional to work with and you've joined the group below to make sure that, again, you have all of the knowledge that you need to make a sound decision, you want to be really clear, not only with yourselves, but with the agent you're working with on your needs and wants as far as specifics of the home, location on the island, and many other details, including your motivation. You wouldn't believe how many clients I've worked with who thought they were very much on the same page and fully in alignment on what they wanted to do with their property here in town. But once we have our first initial consultation, I ask some probing questions and ask each person to answer them separately, and you would be shocked how many aren't really seeing eye to eye like they thought they might be. That could be on location, that could be on property type, whether it's a single family, a duplex, or a true condo. There are a lot of different hurdles that can come up throughout the process, and we want to make sure we clear all of those ahead of time so that the last thing that you encounter would be getting excited about a property, getting ready to go in on it, and all of a sudden your spouse or significant other puts the brakes on to the point where you have to take a day or 2 and talk things through, and all of a sudden, boom, it's gone, it's under contract, and you didn't even get a chance. And that leads us right into our final point, which is speed is everything. I've had multiple clients win out on properties simply by a matter of minutes. One client in particular, if we were 10 minutes later with submitting our offer and having the seller sign it as soon as they received, I know for a fact a higher offer would have come in and would have boxed my folks right out. And I want to be clear, while making a purchase here is a huge decision, it's one of the biggest financial assets most people will ever own, but that makes it even more important to get educated and to get clear on everything up front before the time comes, before you're really ready to pull the trigger on that perfect property, because you don't have any time to waste. Now, once you understand and feel comfortable that you've accomplished each of these 3 components, you're now ready to start looking at properties. If you think this process would be helpful for you in your decision on buying here in town, feel free to click the link down below in the description to book an initial consultation call with me. I'm happy to talk through each of these steps and give you the information directly so that you can move forward with confidence. I hope you found this incredibly helpful. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It helps YouTube share my content with more people so that I can help even more people make better decisions when it comes to buying and selling real estate here at the Jersey Shore. Now, if the second video in this series is done, there will be a link right above me here that you can click to take you right to it. But if not, hold tight. It will only be a couple days before you can dive in to that next video, in which we will cover price and terms and crafting an incredibly strong, irresistible offer. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you on the next one.